You have protection for Karina? My mom asked quietly, her tone strained. Yes, they're on their way there now. I don't want anything from you, I insisted, my voice shaking with anger. I can take care of myself. Please, Karina? My mom took my hands and met my gaze with pleading eyes. I need to know you are safe, and your dad and I need to talk about this face to face. I can't leave you unprotected. Fine, I muttered. They better be prepared to protect me here for the full length of the reservation because I had no intention of leaving with strangers to go who the heck knew where. I did want them to answer some questions for me, though. The relief in his voice was impossible to miss, but it didn't soften the anger I was feeling. I'm not doing this for you. I know, but I'll take it just the same because your safety means the world to me. I nearly snorted in derision at that, except deep down, I still loved my dad and wanted to know that despite everything, he loved me. My dad offered to arrange everything for my mom's flight. Then we hung up, and I focused on what Mom needed to do to get ready to go to the airport. That included urging Lorelei to hit the slopes when she woke up from her nap, because I couldn't handle her questions about what was happening. I refused to think about my dad or what he'd confessed to doing, or the danger I was in. My dad called back once he'd worked out my mom's flight details. He also told me that the guys the Silver Saints had sent to protect me had already landed in Aspen and would be here soon. Not that I had any intention of letting them take over my life when there were no signs that the guy who wanted me dead had any idea I was in Aspen. However, I was curious to know why these guys were willing to protect me after what my dad did. And my dad had mentioned that they were protecting my sister. That felt so weird to think, and I was confused as to why they were willing to risk their necks for us. When my dad had called the second time, I'd tried to ask him about it, but he would only tell me that we'd talk about it later. Well, if he wouldn't do it, then I would get these Silver Saints guys to answer my queries. After dropping off my mom, I returned to the cabin and found a note from Lorelei. She'd taken me up on my suggestion and gone to the slopes. I'd told her that something had come up with my dad and my mom had to fly back without going into any details, so she was oblivious to the drama unfolding, at least for now. I glanced around, and the idea of leaving this beautiful place where I was supposed to have spent the perfect holiday broke something inside me. It was yet another thing my dad's secrets had stolen from me. I sat and stared at the fire until there was a knock on the door. Swinging it open, I found 2 men on the snowy doorstep, at least until the one closest to me shoved the second into a snowdrift. I couldn't seem to tear my eyes away from him to check if the other guy was okay. He was more than a full foot taller than me, with thick, dark hair, a short-trimmed beard and mustache, deep brown eyes, and enough muscles that his winter clothing couldn't hide them. And I had to wonder if I was more broken by what had happened than I realized, because I wanted to throw myself into his arms so he could make it all better.